Hello, hello, welcome back. It has been a long minute since I did a long form video on YouTube, and I have been missing you guys. I've been doing like short form and posting all my stuff from Instagram, of course, to YouTube, but it's different when it's long form because I can really get into it and I can like share more about what is going on in ads and in my world and how to help you guys better. So, as always, we are climbing in subscriptions. I have 171 subscribers, so thank you to all of you who are already here. I am so grateful to all of you, and if you're just finding me now, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel because obviously that helps for my purposes, helps me know that the information that I'm putting out there is good, but also is helping hopefully all of you Medspa owners and those looking to run ads and learn ads and help you to get better results. So today I'm going to talk about, and I have it like all written out here. Give me a second. I'm just going to pull it onto my second screen. And of course I had ChatGPT pare it down because it's just so much information that I had to like get out there. But the main thing I want to talk about today is how to book Medspa clients with ads and the 5 type of ads that will keep you booked out even during those slow months. Okay. So oftentimes with my clients, the slower months tend to be the summer months. So anytime like June and August, because people are traveling, right? They're not booking as readily as they usually do, especially for like maintenance. I have had clients struggle in November, December, actually. I think it depends heavily on where you're located, but that tends to be when people are booking, or not booking, they're buying more gift cards, they're doing more facials, they're doing like lower costs because they're buying things for other people rather than keeping up with their maintenance. And a lot of times people are like doing the maintenance stuff in October and then they're taking the 2 months off for Christmas because they're in like full Christmas mode. So I have seen that too. And then of course, January, February can be slow. Luckily, all of my clients are not slow because they're running these strategies and they're also pairing it with really good content on social media. So if you are struggling with slow months, if you have struggled with slow months and you're like stressed about how you keep your team's calendars full, this is going to be the video for you, okay? And this is going to be, I'm going to show you how to stay booked out and the 5 ads that you need. So the goal of this video is to tell you like basically how, first of all, what 5 ads you need to be running. I had like a total brain fart just now because I was reading this script on my left side and not focused on what I'm saying. What ads you need to be running, but also you need to focus on the audiences you need to target, right? There's so many different variables when it comes to ads. So if you're running them in-house, the person that's running them really needs to know all of these different factors. But I'm going to give you basically the breakdown of the main ads that we run. So when we onboard a client, these are the videos that I have them take if they are not already on their social media so that we can run these ads in their ad strategy. And also it's not just videos, it's carousels too, it's pictures. So remember the funnel, and I'm going to paste this into here. And again, this is from ChatGPT, not from ChatGPT, but I took my strategy just for my brain, put it into ChatGPT and had it pare it down. So yes, you are going to see M dashes. Again, this isn't from ChatGPT. I have an entire video vault plus strategy in all of my clients' folders, and I'm going to share that here. But again, I'm paring it down. So here's the funnel. As always, to remember, you've got your top of funnel. So that's where you're basically saying, here I am, world. This is where we're located. Learn about us, right? You've got your middle of funnel. After you've said, here I am, this is where we're located, this is what we're all about, learn more about us. You've got your middle of funnel where people will be targeted, retargeted with different pieces of content. So what I like to say is when people watch that first video, let's say I see a Medspa ad, and I watch it and I'm like, oh, this is really good. It's funny, captures my attention, something I'm interested in. The middle of funnel, we're going to run a bunch of ads to retarget people like me who watch that first video and are already interested to learn more about your practice. And that's where we're warming them up. We're using authority, we're using social proof, we're using before and afters, transformations. And then finally, you've got the bottom of funnel, and this is where you're going to hit them with an offer to capture bookings from people that are either on the fence or maybe they're already convinced, but they haven't taken action, right? So this is where you want to push them over the fence and get them to book with you, okay? So here are the 5 ad types. And again, I'm going to just paste it here so you guys can see it. So ad type number 1, and I've talked about this before, this is a hill I will die on. You have to have a piece of content on your social media, ideally pinned to the top of your Instagram page or your Facebook page, that tells people who you are, okay? It makes them feel something. It makes them feel emotional in some way. It makes them connect with you. It's relatable in some way, right? Tells them where you're located. Again, this is gonna seem super basic. I promise you, it's basic for a reason. These people need to know where you're located. Your story, right? A lot of us have an inspiring story, and storytelling gets buyers. You can see on social media, all of these influencers, all of these companies, they're moving more towards story selling because you can capture an audience by telling a story. What is your story? Why did you start this med spa? Why did you take an interest in it? What was your goal when you started? Okay, to make people feel confident, to make people feel like the best version of themselves. Lean into that story. Okay, why do you do what you do? Again, why? Who do you help? How do you help them? Right. So if you're helping them with hormone replacement therapy, why? Did you go through something like that yourself, where you were fine? Did you go through menopause and you were like, how are other women dealing with this, right? Did you go through hair loss with PRP and you used PRP and you found that your hair has grown back thicker than ever and you want other people to experience the same results? Were you not confident in yourself, right? And then you had this transformation where you leaned into Botox and fillers and now you love the way you look and you want other people to love the way they look so that they can come into the world as the best version of themselves, right? Medical weight loss. Did you go through a massive weight loss story, right? Did journey, and GLPs helped you, right? Or maybe you just did it on your own and you kind of wish you had GLPs. Whatever your story is, share it. Okay, you might think, I have nothing to share. My story is boring. It's not, I promise you it's not. It's only as boring as you make it, right? You can tell a story in the most boring way, okay? You might think to yourself, my story is boring. I have nothing to share. It's not that interesting. I promise you, it is as boring or as exciting as you make it, okay? So let me just give you an example of this. And this is just like a small example of my own story, okay? I could literally say, back in 2019, I had my first daughter. I was working a 9 to 5. I was so stressed about going back to work that I quit my job, started my business, and grew it to what it is today. That's a boring story, okay? Or I could tell the story like this. Back in 2019, I had just had my first daughter in April. The 3 months leading up to having to go back to my 9 to 5. I sobbed every night. I pleaded with my husband to let me stay home, but we just couldn't because of our debt, because of his school debt, because of our mortgage payment, our car payment. So I took action, right? I cold called all of these potential clients. When I went back to work, the night before I went back to work, I sobbed that I had to leave my daughter with someone else and I was going to miss all of these firsts, right? But I spent the next 9 months focused on building my business. I reached out to potential clients. I reached out to business owners all across my local area and beyond to build my business. And within 9 months, I had replaced my income. I had tripled what I was making at my 9 to 5, and I quit my job. And then I successfully had my second daughter and a successful maternity leave while keeping all of my clients happy. That is a character arc, right? Struggle, worked hard to reach my goals, and here I am today, right? Again, it's as boring as you make it, and you can say to yourself like, oh, I don't have like that good of a story. Make it a good story, okay? This is why story selling works, but this is also why you should lean into this for your ads, for your content. People need to know how they should relate to you, right? If somebody's listening to my story that is working a 9 to 5 and wants to be home with their children, that wants to build a business so their children, they can be home with their kids, right? Just somebody that thinks like that's a great story, right? That's what you should be sharing. That's how to resonate with people, okay? And again, you might think like, oh, I have a boring story. It's not boring. I promise you. If you want to reach out, I'm sure we could make it into something that you could run for ads for your med spa. Okay. The second ad type. Now, this is going to be like, so this is top of funnel. This is going to be like top-ish middle of funnel, okay? Now, the goal of this second top to middle-ish video is to make people understand that it's not just about the treatment that you offer. It's to make them feel something while they're walking into your space, right? It's to make them think, put themselves in the shoes of your ideal client, okay? I'm missing a D here. So it's going to be either a brand and B-roll story video. So again, it can be like a walkthrough of your clinic, showing the treatments happening, showing potential clients in your space, right? Team interaction, who your team is. You could do a calm voiceover or light talking to camera, or you can just do a face to camera to start. I have had clients like open the door of their clinic and say, hey, I'm Dr. So-and-so, welcome to XYZ Aesthetics, right? And then you do a walkthrough with some music, and then like it pans to you working with a client or showing some results, right? You can do this in any sort of creative way, but the goal of this is just to, again, build that visual trust and get people to think, okay, if I'm walking through here, what can I expect? If I'm coming in for a treatment, what am I going to be looking at, right? What am I looking for? What are the before and afters? What are the clients, what are other clients saying, right? So you can do all of that in a video like this. B-roll works, face to camera works. If you have like a bunch of B-roll, you can literally dub voiceover over it, or you can do a face to camera with this. Again, this is going to be to your cold and warm audiences, and this is going to include any of the following. So like I said, clinic walkthrough, treatments happening, team interaction. You can show before and afters throughout. You can show, again, clients walking in, walking out, and just talking about the space. Now, you might say like, okay, this is a little bit bland, but this is really just about showing people what they can expect when they walk in. Okay, number 3 is all about providing authority and providing social proof, okay? So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, what does that even mean, right? So you know what social proof is. Obviously, it's using testimonials that you have from clients, using before and afters, and yes, you can create videos of before and afters and run those with ads. You don't have to do the side-by-side, and I highly recommend not doing the side-by-side because those will get rejected. And it's also about showing up on camera and educating, okay? Showing people that you know their struggles, their hesitations, their questions, and answering those things, okay? The main thing to remember is people aren't going to ask if it works anymore because they've seen enough people with aesthetic work or with PRP or HRT. They've heard enough about it. What they're wondering is if it's going to work for them specifically, okay? So what you should do, and what I recommend all of my clients do, look at the questions that you get the most when people come in or when people fill out like their intake form. What are they asking about? Answer those questions on social media, okay? Obviously don't like bring their name into it, but you can say, I got a question the other day and I wanted to talk about it because I've noticed I'm getting quite a few of these questions, okay? You can do this. You can share authority. You can share social proof through testimonials. You can do video or carousel, through transformations. Again, I would highly recommend doing video for transformations, showing a before and then showing an after, not a side-by-side because those tend to get rejected by Facebook. Sharing your credentials, right? Your experience. In any sort of video that you're educating, I would put something on like the video that says from a 10-year plastic surgeon, from a 10-year nurse practitioner or CRNP. And then also you can put like, and you don't even have to say that as long as it's on the screen, because a lot of times that authority and those credentials will capture people's attention. Same with if you put the number of patients you've helped, right? The number of pounds that your clinic has lost, right? If you're a medical weight loss clinic. You can say, how much, I'm trying to think like how many things of Botox you've injected, how many things of filler you've injected, right? How many lips you've injected, right? Because all of that is giving you authority that you know what you're doing and you have experience. You're not new at this, right? And this is going to go to a warm audience, and the purpose of these pieces of content, social proof, authority, educational, value, is to reduce the hesitation of your ideal client. So again, if I'm seeing your ads and I'm a little bit nervous about getting lip filler or getting Botox, or about jumping in to hormone replacement therapy or PRP or medical weight loss, whatever it is, you want to speak to those hesitations in those pieces of content, right? So think about, what does my ideal client need to hear from me to book with me? Okay. That's what should be in the back of your mind for every piece of content that you create in this middle of funnel. Okay. Number 4 is going to be a mixture of fun content and team content and behind the scenes content. People love to see the story of how something was built. Okay. So if you're in the process of building your med spa, if you're in the process of growing or scaling your med spa, document that, right? People want to see that content. But the goal of this middle of funnel ad is to create connection and relatability. So a lot of times I'll see content on social media where people are like, don't use trending audios if you're trying to book clients. It's not going to work. That's just not true. You can use a combination of educational videos, authority building videos, social proof, but you can also do like fun trending audios if that's your personality, if that's how you're showing up, if that's fun to you and that's how you like to share content, then do it. Don't let anybody tell you what not to do. You can do whatever you want. This is your page. What I'm saying is you want to basically create a human connection, and also you want to draw in people that you want to draw in, right? So if you have a sense of humor and you are funny and you like to bring people in that have a sense of humor and are funny, then do the trending audios, do fun, relatable content. But it's always good to build that human connection and that trust and that relatability. So you can do like meet the team videos, because again, people book with people, not brands, right? So, and if you've noticed, like these massive brands are trying to humanize themselves in 2026 and beyond, right? Because people aren't booking with brands anymore. They don't like want to see a profile picture of your logo. They want to see a profile picture of you, of your team, who they can expect to talk with, who they can expect to trust, right? Especially in the aesthetics world. They want to see the team. They want to see who they're going to be working with. They want to learn about you. They want to learn about your story, again, your character arc. What are your favorite treatments? Why do they love what they do, right? Why do you love what you do? They want to see that. They want to see that passion, because if I am watching you on social media and I don't feel passion, I'm probably not booking with you, because I tend to be a very passionate person. And people can glean that through a screen, believe it or not. Behind the scenes clips, right? Fun, relatable content, trending audios. Again, remember when you're creating these pieces of content, people want to relate to someone before they book a treatment. People want to feel like they can trust someone before they book a treatment. So keep that in the back of your mind before you create content like this. Now, once we're at the bottom of funnel, so we've done all of the pieces, right? We've introduced who you are, where you're located, what your story is. We've created relatable content. We've shared testimonials. We've shared client transformations. We've shared the services that you offer. We share how they can expect to feel when they walk out of your practice after they've had the treatments, right? We've shared some fun trending audios. We've showed your personality. Now we're going to hit them with the offer. So if you still have people in your funnel, which you likely will, because a lot of times you'll have people that are toe dippers or swan divers. Toe dippers are people who are they are hesitant. They have a little bit of analysis paralysis. They're thinking about it, but it takes a little bit of time before they make a decision. Or you have people that are impulse buyers. This is me. I know I have a problem. I book immediately because I'm looking for a solution, right? If you have these people who are analysis paralysis, this is where you're going to want to hit them with the offer, okay? The goal of these ads, these bottom of funnel ads, is to convert, okay? And you're going to hit your hot and warm audiences, but you also want to hit a cold audience in this bottom of funnel. You want to target a cold audience in this bottom of funnel piece because, again, you might have impulse buyers who didn't see your first ads, right, in your local area. So what is this going to include? New client specials. If that's something that you want to run, that's something you want to offer, go for it, okay, to get new clients in. Limited time offers, you can run flash sales. I do have some clients who love it. I have some clients that don't. Bundles, you can bundle a package together and add in some freebies, add in some giveaways, things like that, that make people feel like they're getting the VIP experience or treatment, without actually taking up more of your time. I do have clients that have done bundles where, they'll do like Botox and filler, and then they'll get like an IV drip in addition to that, and it doesn't take up the injector's time, it takes up like some of their team's time, right? And it's just like, again, it's a bundle as far as like the cost, you have to figure that out. And then also, like, you want to include some educational and relatable messaging for why it's time for them to book. So you could even do something like, we've seen you checking us out, book for our free consultation, or book a free 15-minute consultation to see if XYZ treatment is right for you, okay? Remember that the bottom of funnel offers work best after trust is built, not before. Again, typically, right? And this is why this ad strategy is so critical to keeping people booked out and scaling, is because we focus on building trust more than we focus on just getting new clients, booking with flash sales, and costing your med spa money, okay? Because a lot of times these agencies will come in and they'll be like, well, you can't actually book clients without running some sort of sale. That's just not true. It's just not true. You can book clients, but you need a more sophisticated funnel, and this is what that funnel is. So it literally replicates the organic funnel that you have already created, likely on your social media, but it truncates the time that it takes to get people from point A, I have a problem, to point B, I'm booking, right? So with organic, I have a lot of times clients who come to me before we work together will say, I'll say, how long does it take for someone to like just see your content to booking with you? And they'll be like, well, it takes like about 6 months from like when they follow me to when they book. And they'll ask questions in between and whatever. This speeds up that timeline because organic, you can't always trust that organic is going to get in front of them all the time, right? It's a lottery. The algorithm is a lottery. Versus ads, you're putting money behind it, which is what Facebook wants you to do, and Meta wants you to do. So you're going to stay top of mind with that audience because you're paying to play, essentially. So again, it truncates that time. So if it took 6 months with organic, maybe it'll take 6 weeks with ads, right? So you're keeping your books busy. You're keeping your team busy because you are booked out more quickly, and you'll book out farther in advance. Okay, so finally, the final thing is just to remember, like key points to remember with this funnel. Ads aren't going to work in isolation. So yeah, you can boost posts, you can run one-offs, you can run flash sales, but in isolation, they're probably not going to work. One viral ad isn't going to save your business. You need a group of ads. You need this funnel for it to work together consistently, right? So of course, having one viral ad can keep you booked out, just like one viral piece of content can keep you booked out. But it's not going, or can book you out for a short period of time, but it's not going to keep you booked out, okay? Consistency plus storytelling plus proof is what's going to equal a booked out calendar. So just to give you an example of this, my client who I've been working with since January of 2024, Dr. Erica, I use her as an example all the time. She has a medical weight loss clinic in Tampa. We've worked together again for 2 years straight now. When she started running ads, she was hesitant because of the cost, but she was like, I know that the referrals are going to dry up. I know that social media can kind of be like a lottery system. We started running ads in February. It took her about 2 weeks to get onboarded. We started running her ads in February. She was booked out to April within 2 weeks. Now, 2 years later, she is opening a second location and she's hiring new practitioners. Okay, so this is what the power of good content, right? Leaning into your personality, your authentic self, telling your story, showing your results, your social proof. And she stayed booked out a month to a month and a half in advance with telehealth patients and with in-person patients, of course. This is what leads to booked out calendars, is trusting a process, okay? So if you've hopped from agency to agency, or if you've hopped from social media manager to social media manager, you have to have consistency in something, right? And you have to trust that this process does work. You just need the right team. You need the right strategy, okay? 2 more things. When ads focus on connection first, the bookings become a byproduct, right? So if you're focused on trust before you're focused on sales, right? That's going to be the result. Staying booked out is going to be the result. So connection over conversion first. And then if you want ads that bring in aligned, high quality, high paying, luxury clients, and not just impressions or views, or not just deal seekers or discount Danielles, right? This is the exact framework we use with our Medspa clients to stay booked even in slow months, even throughout slow months, like the summer months, the winter months, whatever it is. We've been running this ad strategy for the last 6 years, and it's stayed working. It's stayed consistent in results because it's built on trust, not because it's flash sales, not because it's, gimmicks, not because it's just built on like trends and things like that. No, it's built on keeping you as the aesthetic practitioner, as the Medspa owner at the forefront, making you the brand, bringing your personality into it, making it authentic, and building trust with your ideal clients, with your dream clients. And that's how you stay booked out. As always, please hit subscribe if this was helpful. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and let me know what you want to see next. I'm going to be trying to drop a video once a week, every week on YouTube to continue growing this channel and helping as many people as possible to grow their practices and scale their practices with ads, because we should all be successful in 2026. The Medspa industry is like the biggest and most booming industry in 2026, and I think it's only going to continue to boom. But if you want to stay competitive and if you want to stay in front of your competitors and stay top of mind with your ideal clients, you've got to run ads. It's just a necessity. Now, if you're just opening, do you have to run ads right now? No, probably not. I would focus on content right now and getting those systems and those foundations in place. But once you have all of that in place and you're like, okay, I need to fill my team's calendar, I want to be booked out, that's when you're going to want to run ads. Let me know if this was helpful for you guys. I'll talk to you soon.